Monica Grant, a black CEO, is publicly humiliated at the airport when a gate agent denies her the first-class seat she paid for, implying she doesn't belong. Calm and collected, Monica makes one devastating phone call, instantly freezing a $2 billion contract her company, Grant Global, has with the airline. This wasn't impulsive. She had uncovered emails revealing executives' plan to steal her technology and push her out. The terminal falls silent as her strike rocks the company. The airline stock crashes, the CEO resigns, and public disgrace follows. Monica doesn't stop. She launches the Legacy Protocol, funding women of color in tech and building a whole new system. Her message is clear. You are not just a passenger. You are the architect of the plane. Humiliation turned into unstoppable power and lasting legacy. In the bustling airport, a young black woman named Monica Grant stood at the gate with her head held high. The sun beat down on her skin as she meticulously checked her boarding pass and waited for her turn to board the all-white plane bound for New York City's JFK International Airport. She had paid an exorbitant amount of money for first-class seating, but as the gate agent approached, something felt off. She hesitated for a moment before speaking into her phone. "Excuse me," Monica said in a quiet tone. "Can you please let me switch to first class?" The gate agent's expression turned grave, and she seemed taken aback by Monica's demand. "I'm sorry, but your ticket was confirmed for economy class." Monica's heart sank as the realization hit her like a hammer. She had paid so much money to fly in first class, only to be denied access due to discrimination based on race. The entire world revolved around her, and she felt exposed and humiliated. The agent seemed determined to deny her request, but Monica wasn't about to give up easily. With an indignant scowl, she launched into a phone call that would change the course of her life forever. "Hi," she said on the other end, trying not to sound too upset or angry. "I was hoping you could help me with something." The gate agent looked at Monica skeptically before replying. "Of course, what can I assist you with?" Monica took a deep breath and began her story. She explained how she had uncovered emails that revealed executives planning to steal her technology from Grant Global, the company she founded and ran for over 10 years. The emails detailed plans to redistribute ownership of the tech to underrepresented minorities in exchange for increased profits. As she spoke, Monica's voice was filled with fear and desperation. "These people know who they are dealing with," she said, her eyes fixed on the gate agent. "They're not just passengers. They read the architects of the plane." The gate agent listened intently, processing what Monica had to say before finally asking a question. "You mean, you think that's going to happen?" Monica nodded grimly, taking another deep breath. "I'm afraid it might," she said softly. "My company has been working hard for years to break barriers and create opportunities for underrepresented minorities in tech." The gate agent seemed hesitant, but then asked a crucial question. "Okay, so what can we do?" Monica took the opportunity to make her case clear. "We need your help to secure funding that will allow us to build upon our successful technology platform and reach even more women of color in tech. We're creating a system where they not only have access, but also feel empowered as creators and leaders within their own communities." The gate agent's expression softened, understanding the gravity of Monica's request. "I see your point," she said finally. "What kind of funding are you looking for?" Monica took a deep breath before answering with her proposed plan. She outlined the details of the Legacy Protocol, including the creation of a $2 billion fund to support women and minorities in tech, and building a mentorship program that connects these individuals with experienced professionals within their industries. The gate agent nodded thoughtfully as Monica spoke, her mind working through the implications of what she was proposing. "I think this could be possible," she said finally. but we'll need some input from other companies within our network to support your initiative." Monica smiled determinedly, knowing that she had taken a significant step towards rectifying the injustices faced by underrepresented minorities in tech. She knew that change was not easy, but with determination and hard work, it could happen. The gate agent listened intently as Monica finished her story, understanding the immense impact her proposal would have on the industry. "I'll do everything within my power to support your project," she said finally. "But we need more information before making a decision." Monica took this opportunity to make sure the gate agent had all the necessary details about the legacy protocol and its potential benefits for women in tech. She explained how it would create a pipeline of talented individuals from underrepresented communities, reduce financial disparities, and foster innovation within their own industries. The gate agent nodded thoughtfully, her mind already working through the implications of this new funding model. "I understand," she said finally. "Let's schedule a meeting to discuss further." Monica felt a sense of relief knowing that the door was closing on the issue at hand. She knew that her story wouldn't be over just yet, but it had taken her one step closer towards creating lasting change and empowering women in tech. As she boarded the plane, Monica looked out the window with a renewed determination to make a difference. She knew that the road ahead would not be easy, but with hard work, perseverance, and an unwavering belief in justice for all, anything was possible. Monica Grant, a Black CEO at the leading technology company, was on her way to attend an important industry conference when she unexpectedly found herself facing a setback that threatened to undermine not only her reputation, but also her mission to empower women in tech. As she checked her bag and made her way through security, Monica couldn't help but feel overwhelmed by the incident. She had always been passionate about using technology to create positive change in marginalized communities, particularly those of color, and this latest setback seemed like a major blow to that vision. The gate agent at the airport's security checkpoint denied Monica the first-class seat she had paid for, insisting that it was her responsibility as a CEO due to her status. As she explained how the legacy protocol worked, its innovative funding model designed to attract diverse talent and promote economic growth from underrepresented communities, the gate agent seemed skeptical about the idea of empowering women in tech when such an elite group might not be required for success. Despite the counterintuitive nature of the situation, Monica decided that it was crucial to gather all the necessary information before making any decisions. She approached the gate agent with a firm handshake and asked if there were any specific details or requirements she needed from them to approve her ticket. The gate agent hesitated at first, but then seemed more open to discussing the possibilities. Monica explained how the legacy protocol would create a pipeline of talented individuals from underrepresented communities who had been overlooked by traditional funding sources due to their race and gender. By offering access to capital and resources that were otherwise unavailable, she argued, it would not only provide these individuals with the opportunity to pursue careers in tech, but also help them break into established companies at an earlier stage of their career. The gate agent listened intently as Monica outlined the potential benefits for both parties. She acknowledged the fact that there was a growing demand for diverse talent and said she appreciated Monica's passion for empowering underrepresented communities in STEM fields. However, she wanted to make sure that all relevant details were accurate before making any final decisions. "Let me confirm," she added. "The legacy protocol is specifically designed for individuals from minority groups who have traditionally faced significant barriers in the tech industry." Monica nodded, noting how essential it was to include diverse perspectives and experiences when designing such a funding model. She explained that while there may be instances where women or other underrepresented minorities could benefit from the platform, they would not necessarily need to belong to those communities to succeed. As she continued to discuss the details of the legacy protocol with the gate agent, Monica felt her resolve strengthening even more. Despite the initial resistance to change, she knew that this was a significant step forward in promoting equity in diversity within the tech industry. She believed that by creating opportunities for underrepresented individuals from diverse backgrounds, it would not only benefit these groups, but also contribute to the overall growth of the sector as a whole. The gate agent seemed impressed with Monica's explanation and asked if there were any specific industries or sectors she was interested in supporting through the legacy protocol. Monica replied that she had a particular interest in underrepresented communities working on emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain. Those are key areas where we see significant growth potential, she explained, and I believe our platform could make an impact there. The gate agent nodded thoughtfully as she considered the possibilities. She mentioned that they had recently launched a new initiative called TechBridge, aimed at supporting startups from underrepresented communities in these sectors. Great to hear, Monica exclaimed, enthusiasm coursing through her veins. You have a valuable perspective, and we'd love to see more opportunities like this arise within our network. The gate agent smiled back, saying that they were always looking for ways to support innovative projects that had the potential to make a positive impact on society. As she boarded the plane with renewed energy and determination, Monica knew that the road ahead would not be an easy one. However, she was confident in her ability to overcome any obstacles that might stand in their way. With the legacy protocol as their guiding light, she believed that it had the potential to create lasting change in marginalized communities and pave the way for a more equitable future in tech. As she looked out the window with a renewed sense of purpose, Monica felt grateful for the opportunity to share her vision with others who shared her passion for empowering women in tech. She knew that there would be challenges along the way, but by persevering through them together, they could create a brighter tomorrow for all those affected by gender and racial disparities in technology. The end. Monica Grant, a Black CEO with a reputation for driving innovation in the tech industry, was on her way to attend an important event at the airport when she received yet another setback. As she approached the gate agent who denied her first-class seat despite having paid for it, Monica's heart sank. Despite being well-prepared and confident that her legacy protocol would provide a solution to the issue, the incident felt like a slap in the face. "I've been waiting this whole time," Monica said softly, looking around at other passengers struggling with similar situations. "I thought I had a reservation for first class." The gate agent's smile remained fixed as she replied, "We do have reserved seats available on the economy class section, but we appreciate your business and hope you enjoy your flight." Monica knew that her nerves were starting to fray. She'd been working tirelessly behind the scenes, poring over data and implementing changes in her company's systems to improve accessibility for marginalized communities. The legacy protocol had always been a dream project, one with the potential to transform the tech industry by addressing issues of bias and discrimination. As she boarded the plane, Monica felt a surge of determination wash over her. She knew that this setback was just another obstacle on her path towards achieving her vision, but it also marked an opportunity for growth and learning. The legacy protocol had already made significant progress in reducing biases in hiring practices and ensuring that tech products were designed with diverse perspectives in mind. With renewed energy, Monica focused her attention on the flight's amenities and tried to distract herself from the disappointment of not being granted first-class status. She spotted a fellow passenger who was also struggling with similar issues, so she introduced herself and offered them their seat for free. The other passengers looked skeptical at first, but when they saw that it was an act of kindness, curiosity turned into admiration. As the flight took off, Monica felt her excitement grow once again. She knew that this would be a chance to share her vision with others who shared her passion and drive towards creating a more equitable tech industry. As she looked out the window at the breathtaking scenery passing overhead, she couldn't help feel grateful for the support of those around her. As they landed in their destination city, Monica's heart was pounding with anticipation. She had arrived to attend an important conference where she would present the legacy protocol to a diverse group of experts and investors. The event took place at a prestigious hotel surrounded by towering buildings and bustling streets filled with people from all walks of life. The atmosphere felt electric as the attendees gathered in the ballroom, their eyes fixed on Monica's keynote speech. As she began her presentation, Monica knew that she was about to face not only criticism but also skepticism. However, she remained calm and confident, speaking with a voice filled with passion and conviction. I stand before you today to talk about something that I believe is both groundbreaking and essential, she said. Our legacy protocol aims to address the systemic issues of bias in technology by creating algorithms that are designed to be fair and unbiased. By removing biases from hiring practices, we can ensure that tech companies are not only inclusive but also equitable for all. The audience listened intently as Monica detailed the challenges facing marginalized communities and how her team had overcome them through a combination of data analysis, algorithmic improvements, and community outreach programs. As she spoke, Monica felt a sense of pride wash over her. She knew that she was not alone in her mission to create a more equitable tech industry, but it also made her realize the impact that one individual could have on creating real change for others. The conference came to an end with Monica receiving thunderous applause and standing up to accept an award for her groundbreaking work. As she walked away from the stage, she felt exhilarated by the support of her colleagues, investors, and fellow attendees. She knew that this was just the beginning, but it also marked a new chapter in her career as a leader in technology. With renewed motivation and determination, Monica continued to push forward towards achieving her vision for creating a more inclusive tech industry. By leveraging the power of technology to address societal issues like bias and discrimination, she hoped to inspire others to join her on this journey and make a positive impact on the world around them. In the end, Monica Grant's experience at the airport was just one small step towards realizing her vision for creating a more equitable tech industry. As she looked out over the breathtaking scenery of the city that lay before her, Monica knew that there were countless challenges ahead, but with determination and perseverance, anything is possible. She smiled to herself, knowing that this experience had given her the confidence and skills needed to overcome any obstacle that stood in her way. Monica Grant, a Black CEO in the tech industry, had always been passionate about creating a more equitable and inclusive environment for all. However, her career took an unexpected turn when she was publicly humiliated at the airport during a flight to London. As she walked away from the stage with a defeated expression on her face, she felt exhilarated by the support of her colleagues, investors, and fellow attendees. Despite being denied first-class seating despite having paid for it through online booking, Monica knew that this moment was just one small step towards achieving her vision. She had worked tirelessly to create a cutting-edge tech company that empowered marginalized communities, but now, here she stood at the airport, facing rejection. As she looked out over the breathtaking scenery of London's Heathrow Airport, Monica realized how far she had come since starting her journey in 2015 as CEO of her startup, Tech Genius. The world around her was changing rapidly, and with each passing day, more people were becoming aware of the importance of diversity and inclusion in tech. Monica felt a surge of determination to take on this challenge head-on. She knew that if she wanted to make a real difference in the lives of individuals from marginalized communities, she had to build a company that not only provided high-quality technology products, but also addressed systemic issues like bias and discrimination. With Tech Genius's mission to empower Black entrepreneurs through access to capital, mentorship, and networking opportunities, Monica was determined to create a future where every tech startup had an equal chance of success. As she sat down on her flight, Monica reflected on the moment when the gate agent denied her first-class seat. It felt like a punch in the gut at that time, but it also served as a wake-up call for her. The incident sparked a deep-seated conversation within Tech Genius about how to create a more inclusive and equitable environment for all employees. Monica knew that this was not just a matter of policy. It required changes on every level, from recruitment practices to product development processes. She began by examining the company's hiring process, identifying any unconscious biases or gaps in diversity and inclusion training among her team members. This led to a series of workshops and discussions where employees shared their experiences and insights about how bias can impact marginalized groups. Monica also worked closely with external experts, including human rights advocates and consulting firms specializing in diversity and inclusion. She collaborated with these organizations to develop a comprehensive plan that addressed the company's systemic issues related to race, gender, sexuality, religion, and other dimensions of identity. This included implementing unconscious bias training for all employees, revising job descriptions to be more inclusive, promoting diverse hiring practices, establishing mentorship programs for underrepresented groups, and fostering an inclusive workplace culture. As Tech Genius began to implement these changes, the company saw a positive impact on its diversity and inclusion efforts. The number of applications received from underrepresented communities increased significantly, with many candidates highlighting their experiences as minorities in tech startups. This led to more diverse teams at Tech Genius, allowing for innovative ideas and perspectives that could drive innovation and growth. Monica also worked closely with external partners to establish partnerships with universities, nonprofit organizations, and government agencies that were focused on addressing systemic issues related to diversity and inclusion. She collaborated with these entities to create programs that provided technical support, mentorship, and resources to underrepresented communities in the tech industry. The impact of these initiatives was evident as more and more marginalized individuals found their place at Tech Genius. The company's diverse team consisted of employees from various backgrounds, including Black, Asian, LGBTQ+, women, and people with disabilities. This diversity not only enriched the workplace culture, but also provided a platform for underrepresented voices to be heard. In addition to addressing systemic issues, Monica continued her efforts towards creating an inclusive work environment that celebrated and appreciated differences among colleagues. She established mentorship programs for employees from diverse backgrounds, pairing them up with experienced mentors who could provide guidance and support in their professional development journeys. This helped foster a sense of belonging and increased employee engagement. Monica's leadership style was also crucial to the success of her inclusive initiatives. She recognized that not all employees felt comfortable being themselves at Tech Genius, so she developed strategies for creating an environment where individuals from diverse backgrounds could thrive. These included offering workshops on diversity and inclusion topics, promoting flexible work arrangements, and providing access to resources like mental health support services. Over time, the company's commitment to inclusivity paid off in a tangible way. The percentage of employees who identified as LGBTQ+ increased by 25% over the past year, with many employees also expressing their desire for more inclusive policies and practices within TechGenius. Additionally, women made up 30% of the company's executive team, reflecting growing strides towards gender equality in the tech industry. Monica's experience at the airport was just one small step on her journey to creating a more equitable tech industry. As she looked out over the breathtaking scenery of London's Heathrow Airport once again, Monica knew that there were countless challenges ahead. However, with determination and perseverance, anything is possible. She smiled to herself, knowing that this experience had given her the confidence and skills needed to overcome any obstacle that stood in her way. The end as she boarded a FLI GHD back home, Monica felt grateful for the lessons she had learned from her experience at the airport. She knew that creating an inclusive work environment was not just about solving problems, but also about building relationships with employees who shared similar values and perspectives. She resolved to continue pushing forward in her quest towards achieving diversity and inclusion within TechGenius. Monica's journey would be long, winding, and filled with twists and turns along the way. But she knew that by embracing differences, leveraging technology, and fostering a culture of inclusivity, she was on track to create a future where every tech startup had an equal chance of success, regardless of their background or identity. The end. Monica Grant, a Black CEO of TechGenius, had just completed her successful trip to London for the annual conference. As she boarded the plane back home, she felt an overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment. The thought of representing TechGenius as its only Black female executive filled her with joy, knowing that it was a significant step towards creating a more diverse and inclusive tech industry. The flight took off smoothly, but minutes later, Monica's journey took another unexpected turn when the gate agent denied her access to first-class seating she had paid for. At first, she thought it was just an oversight or a mistake, but as the incident continued, she realized that something was not right. The gate agent explained that despite having purchased the seat in advance and presenting her ticket at check-in, Monica's last name did not match the passenger list on the flight's database. Panicked and frustrated, Monica tried to appeal the decision, explaining how the company had a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination based on race. However, she soon learned that the issue was more complicated than it seemed. The airline had implemented an advanced security system designed to scan passengers' identities with high-resolution cameras, which could potentially flag individuals who shared similar names or IDs. Realizing her mistake and feeling embarrassed about being denied access, Monica quickly made a change of plans. She decided to sit in the economy class instead, knowing that it would allow her to continue attending the conference while still experiencing the benefits of first-class travel. As she settled into her seat, she couldn't help but reflect on how this experience had shaped her perspective and inspired her to take action. Over the next few days, Monica continued to work hard at TechGenius, pushing for change within the company's policies and procedures. She reached out to various departments, including IT, HR, and diversity and inclusion, sharing her concerns about discrimination in the tech industry and encouraging them to review their practices. One of Monica's key allies was a senior manager named Sarah Sophia Mancini, who had previously faced similar challenges at another TechGenius subsidiary. As they worked together, Monica shared strategies for addressing the issue head-on, focusing on education, awareness campaigns, and employee training programs that could help foster an inclusive work environment. As time passed, Monica's efforts began to pay off, with increased visibility from both tech companies and within the broader industry. In addition to promoting diversity at TechGenius, she also worked closely with other Black leaders in the field, such as CEO of a Black-owned app developer and founder of an innovative social media platform. As Monica continued her journey towards inclusivity, she faced several challenges along the way. She had to navigate through red tape and regulatory barriers that hindered progress at some companies, while others were resistant to change or even outright hostile to diversity initiatives. However, with determination and a steadfast commitment to making TechGenius a more inclusive workplace, Monica remained undeterred. One of the major hurdles Monica faced was convincing executives from diverse backgrounds within her own department that their presence would enhance the company's overall image and bottom line. She had to explain how diversity could lead to increased innovation, better employee engagement, and improved customer satisfaction by tapping into a wider range of perspectives and experiences. To overcome this obstacle, Monica organized workshops and seminars where she shared personal stories about discrimination in tech and the importance of fostering an inclusive culture within her own organization. These sessions not only educated employees on the topic, but also inspired them to take action against such practices head-on. As Monica's efforts gained momentum, TechGenius began to see tangible results that reflected their commitment towards diversity and inclusion. They implemented new policies and procedures aimed at addressing discrimination in hiring, promotions, and performance evaluations, including unconscious bias training for all employees and a review process that prioritizes diversity candidates from underrepresented backgrounds. Over time, the company's reputation as a leader in inclusivity began to grow, attracting top talent from diverse backgrounds who were attracted by its commitment to creating an environment where everyone felt valued and respected. As more people joined her team at TechGenius, she saw firsthand how her experiences had inspired them to make similar changes within their own organizations. In the end, Monica's journey towards inclusivity was not a solitary one, but rather a collective effort that spanned across various departments and stakeholders in the tech industry. By embracing diversity and fostering an inclusive work environment at TechGenius, she had paved the way for future generations of Black leaders to succeed within their respective fields and contribute positively to shaping the world we live in today. The end. Monica Grant, a Black CEO with a mission to drive inclusivity in the tech industry, found herself embroiled in a global controversy when she was denied access to her first-class seat at an airport. The incident sparked outrage and media scrutiny as news outlets reported on the company's handling of diversity issues. At the time, TechGenius had been consistently praised for its commitment towards fostering a diverse and inclusive work environment that celebrated underrepresented communities' contributions. However, this particular incident highlighted the challenges they faced in addressing discrimination within their organization. As CEO, Monica was aware that her experiences as an African-American woman navigating the tech industry were not unique, but rather representative of many Black professionals who had been forced to adapt to new systems and cultures. Intrigued by the potential impact of unconscious bias on hiring decisions, she led a team of experts in diversity and inclusion, D&I, at TechGenius. The company's goal was to implement comprehensive measures that would address both conscious and unconscious discrimination while promoting an environment where all employees felt valued, respected, and treated fairly. The first step they took was to conduct a review process for all job applications, including resumes and cover letters. They prioritized candidates from diverse backgrounds and conducted interviews with hiring managers across the company's various departments, ensuring that their perspectives were represented in the candidate pool. The goal was not just about finding qualified hires, but also creating an inclusive environment where people could bring their full selves to work. To address unconscious bias during the recruitment process, TechGenius implemented a series of training programs for employees, including unconscious bias workshops and mentorship opportunities with diverse candidates from underrepresented backgrounds. These sessions focused on understanding one's own biases and how they can impact decision-making processes in both personal and professional contexts. The company also provided ongoing refresher courses to all hiring managers and other stakeholders to ensure that the D&I training remained relevant and impactful. In addition, TechGenius committed to creating a more inclusive work culture by fostering open communication channels within the organization. They established regular employee meetings where diverse voices were heard and addressed any concerns or issues raised regarding inclusivity in areas such as diversity recruiting, retention, and promotion practices. The company also encouraged employees from underrepresented communities to share their experiences and perspectives on how they navigated challenges related to discrimination. As a result of these efforts, TechGenius began seeing tangible results that reflected the company's commitment towards diversity and inclusion. They received positive feedback for implementing effective policies, CREAT, ING, an inclusive work environment, and fostering diverse representation within their organization. The company's reputation as a leader in inclusivity grew significantly, attracting top talent from various backgrounds who were attracted by its emphasis on creating opportunities for all. The change had not only brought about increased diversity, but also improved employee retention rates and reduced the likelihood of discrimination incidents within TechGenius operations. As Monica continued to lead her team, she saw firsthand how her experiences as an African-American woman navigating the tech industry had inspired others to make similar changes within their own organizations. Many employees at the company felt a sense of pride in contributing towards creating a more diverse and inclusive workplace culture. Monica's journey towards inclusivity was not just about addressing discrimination, but also about fostering an environment where people could thrive together as colleagues, mentors, and leaders. By embracing diversity and prioritizing inclusion within their organization, TechGenius had paved the way for future generations of Black professionals to succeed within their respective fields and contribute positively to shaping the world we live in today. In conclusion, Monica Grant's decision to publicly humiliate a gate agent at an airport was not just about challenging her position, but also about acknowledging the systemic barriers that underrepresented communities face when it comes to accessing opportunities in the tech industry. By implementing comprehensive measures to address unconscious bias and foster an inclusive work environment, TechGenius demonstrated their commitment towards creating a world where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly. The company's success not only reflected its efforts, but also inspired others within the technology community to prioritize diversity and inclusion at all levels of the organization. The ongoing dialogue around inclusivity has since led to significant changes in hiring practices, retention rates, and promotion opportunities for underrepresented individuals from diverse backgrounds. As Monica's journey towards inclusivity continues, it remains a shining example of how businesses can create positive change within their communities while driving innovation and growth. The End. Traveling Airport. Dame Monica Grant, a Black CEO of TechGenius, stood at the airport's check-in counter in front of an array of passengers from all over the world, nervously waiting for her flight to London. As she scanned through the queue, she noticed a young woman with dreadlocked hair and bright blue eyes standing at the back, clearly looking lost and unwell. Monica approached her hesitantly, holding out a business card. "Excuse me, I'm here to check in for my flight from New York City." Do you mind if I assist you? The woman looked up with gratitude, wiping away tears as she took the card, revealing that she had been struggling with mental health issues and was going through a difficult time at home. Monica noticed her anxiety levels rising quickly, so she began to offer words of encouragement and empathy. "I know how tough things can be sometimes," she said softly, "but you're not alone. Let's take it one step at a time." The woman looked down at the ground with a heavy sigh as they continued their conversation. She explained that her family had recently moved from New York to London, and while she was excited about starting a new chapter in her life, she felt overwhelmed by the unfamiliarity of living in a city where there were limited resources for mental health support. Monica listened intently, nodding in understanding as they discussed ways to overcome these challenges. She shared TechGenius' commitment to providing access to mental health care services through its online platform and emphasized that they had implemented several initiatives aimed at addressing unconscious bias within their hiring process. "We understand the importance of diversity and inclusion in our industry," Monica continued. "Our team is dedicated to ensuring a level playing field for all employees, regardless of their background or experiences. We have trained extensively on cultural competency and unconscious bias training, so that we can better identify and address any biases that may impact hiring decisions." The woman nodded thoughtfully as they discussed the role TechGenius had played in promoting diversity and inclusion within its workplace culture. She expressed gratitude for Monica's efforts and encouraged her to continue advocating for underrepresented individuals. Just then, a man approached them with a concerned expression on his face. He gestured towards the woman, offering a helping hand. "Excuse me, do you need any assistance?" The woman looked up at him in surprise, grateful for the offer of help, but unsure if it was appropriate to accept. The man introduced himself as Jake, and he explained that he had noticed the woman struggling with her mental health issues and wanted to offer his support. He shared a personal story about how he struggled with depression when he came out as gay during high school, and how TechGenius' commitment to providing inclusive hiring practices helped him find success in his career. Jake's words resonated deeply within Monica, who realized that the issue of mental health wasn't just an individual problem, but also had a systemic impact on communities. He shared stories about how he saw firsthand the barriers that underrepresented individuals faced when it came to accessing mental health care services and the discrimination they often experienced in various industries. Monica felt overwhelmed by these experiences, realizing the need for more comprehensive support systems for those who were struggling with mental health issues. She knew she needed to take action and advocate for change within TechGenius' workplace culture. As Jake continued his story, Monica suggested that tech companies should prioritize creating safe spaces where employees could openly discuss their struggles with mental health without fear of judgment or discrimination. They should implement employee assistance programs, EAPs, that offer confidential counseling services, resources, and support to help individuals overcome personal challenges and build resilience. The woman nodded in agreement as they discussed the importance of fostering a supportive work environment that prioritizes mental well-being for all employees. She expressed her desire to see TechGenius take concrete steps towards this goal by implementing EAPs, offering training on culturally competent practices, and creating a culture where diversity and inclusion are not just buzzwords, but values that guide everything the company does. As they continued their conversation, Jake shared his own experiences with discrimination when he was faced with racism in the tech industry. He explained how TechGenius had implemented steps to address these issues by training its employees on unconscious bias and promoting diverse hiring practices, which helped him find a sense of belonging within the company. Monica felt inspired by Jake's story realizing that change wouldn't happen overnight, but if each employee took responsibility for creating positive changes in their own workplaces. She encouraged her team to join forces with tech companies like Tech Genius and advocate for more systemic change towards inclusivity in the industry as a whole. Jake nodded eagerly at Monica's words, knowing firsthand how important it was to create an environment where everyone felt valued, respected, and treated fairly. He shared his vision of a world where mental health services were accessible, regardless of race or gender, and encouraged others within tech companies to join him in this mission. As the two men left together, Monica's thoughts turned to her own journey towards inclusivity at Tech Genius. She knew that change wasn't just about addressing individual struggles with mental health, but also creating a broader impact on society as a whole. With Jake's inspiring story serving as a beacon of hope for others within tech companies, she felt confident in their ability to drive positive change and create a world where everyone feels included and valued. T. Sichinio's headquarters, Day Monica Grant, a Black CEO of Tech Genius, walks into her office with the humiliated look on her face from earlier at the airport as she contemplates how this latest episode has impacted not only her reputation, but also her team's morale and professional growth. Seen from outside, the receptionist is dressed in a suit and tie, while Jake sits behind his desk, looking equally defeated. He looks up to Monica with a mix of sadness and determination on his face, wondering if this was the end for their collaboration at Tech Genius. Monica takes a deep breath before addressing her team. Guys, I've been dealing with some tough stuff lately. At the airport last week, when my first-class ticket was denied by a gate agent, it hit me that we need to change our approach and take responsibility not just for individual employees, but also for creating an inclusive workplace culture. Jake nods in agreement, understanding her perspective as he had experienced similar challenges at his previous job. I know you've been passionate about promoting mental health services within the tech industry. Let's brainstorm ways to make that happen, Monica suggests. The team looks thoughtful as they discuss various ideas such as partnering with nonprofit organizations, offering training sessions on workplace diversity and inclusivity, or providing resources for employees struggling with mental health issues. Monica smiles at their idea. Those are great suggestions, but we need more than just awareness. We also need to create a genuine culture where everyone feels valued, respected, and treated fairly. Jake nods in agreement once again as they brainstorm ways to make this happen. They come up with the following plan. 1. Conduct an internal audit. The team will review all employee performance metrics and identify areas of improvement related to diversity, inclusivity, and mental health. 2. Implement a mentorship program for underrepresented groups. This program would pair new employees from diverse backgrounds with experienced mentors who can guide them through their careers while fostering cross-cultural understanding and collaboration. 3. Establish an employee resource group. The ERG will be responsible for creating inclusive events, workshops, and resources that address the unique needs of different employee demographics, such as women, people of color, LGBTQ+ employees, or individuals with disabilities. 4. Foster a sense of belonging. Provide opportunities for open communication, celebrate diversity in team meetings, and encourage diverse representation within leadership positions. 5. Develop an inclusive company mission statement. The mission statement should reflect the values that Tech Genius stands for and emphasize its commitment to creating a welcoming environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and included. Monica takes charge of implementing this plan. I'll gather all team members' input on how we can make these changes happen. We need to ensure that our actions align with our mission statement and communicate it effectively across the organization. She encourages her team to share their ideas openly, ensuring everyone has a chance to voice their concerns and suggestions. After several meetings, the team presents their recommendations. 1. Conduct an internal audit. The auditors review employee performance metrics for diversity, inclusivity, and mental health in departments such as human resources, training and development, and product marketing. They identify areas where there is room for improvement and provide specific actionable steps to address these issues. 2. Implement a mentorship program. Jake leads the effort to establish this program by partnering with local community organizations that offer resources and support for underrepresented individuals in tech fields. He coordinates with HR and product development teams, ensuring that mentors are trained on best practices and have access to necessary training materials. 3. Establish an employee resource group. The ERG will work closely with the Human Resources Department to develop a list of potential candidates based on their backgrounds, interests, and career goals. Once selected, they'll organize regular meetings where employees can share their experiences and suggestions for inclusive initiatives. 4. Foster a sense of belonging. Monica leads workshops focused on cultural awareness, diversity training, and allyship training for all employees. These sessions will provide employees with the tools to better understand different cultures, reduce bias, and promote cross-cultural understanding within TechGenius. 5. Develop an inclusive company mission statement. The team meets in a closed meeting to create a clear and concise mission statement that reflects their commitment to creating a diverse, equitable, and inclusive workplace culture. This document will serve as the foundation for all communication and initiatives going forward. Monica presents the revised internal audit report, mentorship program plan, ERG formation, fostering of inclusive ITY efforts, and company mission statement during her team's next meeting. Here are our findings from the internal audit on diversity, inclusion, and mental health in TechGenius. 1. The HR department needs to improve performance metrics related to employee diversity by focusing on increasing representation within underrepresented groups such as women, people of color, LGBTQ+ employees, or individuals with disabilities. 2. A mentorship program is essential for developing a supportive network for new employees from diverse backgrounds and fostering cross-cultural understanding and collaboration in departments like human resources, training and development, and product marketing. 3. The ERG will serve as the central point to address employee needs and interests while promoting inclusivity within TechGenius. It should include representatives with different backgrounds, experience levels, and career goals. 4. To foster a sense of belonging among employees, we'll host regular workshops on cultural awareness, diversity training, and allyship. These sessions will encourage open communication and help individuals better understand the experiences of others from diverse backgrounds. 5. The company's mission statement should reflect our commitment to creating an inclusive workplace culture where everyone feels valued, respected, and included in TechGenius. Our new mission reads, empowering diversity, inclusion, and equity for a just society through innovative technology solutions. The team shares their enthusiasm for the proposed changes and agrees to move forward with implementing them. Monica smiles at Jake as they discuss the next steps. Let's begin by holding weekly meetings with HR, product development, and training teams to review progress towards our diversity, inclusion, and mental health initiatives. We'll also conduct a comprehensive employee survey to gather feedback on how we can improve the inclusivity of TechGenius from both an individual and organizational perspective. With this plan in place, Monica leads her team into the next chapter of their journey towards creating a more inclusive workplace culture for all employees at TechGenius. Global outline. Monica Grant, a Black CEO at TechGenius, is publicly humiliated in the airport when her gate agent denies her access to first-class seating, despite having paid for it. As she struggles with her humiliation, Monica feels frustrated and isolated among employees. She realizes that inclusive workplace culture requires constant efforts from all members of the organization to create an environment where everyone feels valued and respected. To address this issue, TechGenius hosts regular workshops on cultural awareness, diversity training, and allyship. These sessions encourage open communication and help individuals better understand the experiences of others from diverse backgrounds. They aim to break down barriers that prevent people from feeling included and empower them to take action towards creating a more inclusive workplace. The company's mission statement reflects their commitment to fostering an inclusive culture by stating, empowering diversity, inclusion and equity for a just society through innovative technology solutions. This vision is underpinned by the goal of empowering all employees to thrive in a diverse and equitable work environment. By prioritizing diversity training and allyship initiatives, TechGenius aims to create a workplace where people feel valued for their unique backgrounds, perspectives, and experiences. The team at TechGenius shares their enthusiasm for these proposed changes and agrees to move forward with implementing them. They discuss the next steps. Holding weekly meetings with HR, product development, and training teams to review progress towards diversity initiatives such as unconscious bias workshops, inclusive hiring practices, and employee resource groups. Conducting a comprehensive employee survey to gather feedback on how TechGenius can enhance its inclusivity efforts from both an individual and organizational perspective. The survey will address areas like accessibility for employees with disabilities, representation in leadership positions, and cultural sensitivity training for non-native English speakers. In the following weeks, Monica leads her team into implementing these initiatives. Conducting unconscious bias workshops to educate employees about their own biases and how they impact hiring decisions. Promotion, and work-life balance. These sessions will help break down stereotypes and promote a more inclusive workplace culture by fostering an understanding of diverse perspectives. Encouraging open communication through regular team meetings, one-on-one conversations, and diversity affinity groups where individuals can share experiences and learn from each other's backgrounds. Implementing inclusive hiring practices that prioritize diversity in job postings, interview processes, and employee compensation. This includes reviewing job descriptions for language clarity and inclusivity, ensuring diversity among hiring managers, and offering training opportunities to unconscious bias coaches. Encouraging the creation of diverse leadership teams by promoting individuals from underrepresented communities within TechGenius. These leaders can serve as role models and provide guidance on creating inclusive workplace cultures. Providing cultural sensitivity training for non-native English speakers to help employees understand cultural norms, customs, and communication styles that may differ across different backgrounds. This training will help foster a more culturally aware and respectful work environment. As the team continues their efforts towards inclusivity at TechGenius, they also address mental health initiatives. They recognize that stress can take a toll on individuals' well-being in a diverse workplace setting, especially for people from underrepresented communities who may face unique challenges like job insecurity or language barriers. Offering regular access to employee assistance programs, EAPs, and counseling services tailored to the specific needs of employees with mental health concerns. These resources can provide support, guidance, and referrals to individuals who might be struggling personally or professionally. Encouraging open communication about mental health within TechGenius by creating a culture that promotes self-care practices like mindfulness, exercise, and seeking professional help when needed. As the journey towards an inclusive workplace continues, Monica's team faces numerous challenges along the way. They encounter resistance from some employees who may not feel comfortable with these changes or believe it goes against their job responsibilities. To address this issue, TechGenius creates a supportive environment where everyone feels valued and heard. Employees are provided opportunities for feedback, input, and collaboration on how to implement inclusive initiatives effectively. The company also emphasizes the importance of ongoing learning and adaptation as they work through challenges and overcome barriers. In addition to addressing individual concerns, the team addresses broader issues related to diversity and inclusion by advocating for policy changes at the organizational level. Partnering with local organizations that support underrepresented communities to amplify their voices in decision-making processes. This could include participating in community outreach efforts or collaborating on initiatives like mentorship programs, job shadowing opportunities, or networking events. Engaging employees from diverse backgrounds as advocates for inclusive practices within TechGenius by organizing employee-led forums and workshops where individuals share best practices and offer suggestions for improving the company's inclusivity culture. As progress is made towards an inclusive workplace at TechGenius, Monica continues to lead her team through various challenges. They continue to prioritize cultural awareness, diversity training, allyship initiatives, mental health support, and policy changes. By fostering a positive and supportive work environment where everyone feels included and valued, the company aims to create lasting change that benefits not only individual employees, but also contributes to creating a more equitable society for all. Continuation of story. Over time, as TechGenius's efforts towards inclusivity continue, they receive valuable feedback from their employees. The employee surveys reveal that improvements in diversity and inclusion are being noticed by the company's stakeholders. An overwhelming majority of respondents express satisfaction with the workshops on cultural awareness, diversity training, and allyship held so far. They appreciate the importance of creating a more inclusive workplace culture and how these initiatives help them feel valued for their unique backgrounds. The team also receives positive feedback from employees about changes in leadership styles that promote inclusivity. For example, some employees note that leaders like Jake are actively listening to diverse perspectives, fostering an open-door policy, and encouraging cross-functional collaboration. Jake's approach to inclusive leadership is truly inspiring, a team member enthuses. He has made it clear that diversity should be celebrated in every aspect of the organization, from hiring practices to decision-making processes. His commitment to creating an environment where everyone feels included not only benefits his own career, but also helps us all achieve our company goals. In addition, employees express gratitude for access to EAPs and counseling services that have provided support during challenging times. Working with the Employee Assistance Program has been invaluable, another team member declares. The counselor's expertise in addressing mental health concerns has helped me navigate my own challenges while also providing a safe space for others who may be struggling. Employees appreciate how inclusive initiatives like language translation services and disability accommodations have improved their work experiences. Having the ability to communicate effectively with colleagues from diverse backgrounds has been a game changer, an employee shares. It's not just about understanding different cultures, but also being able to adapt to those differences in communication styles. These adjustments have made our daily tasks smoother, and I feel more connected to my team members. Asterisk as the company continues its efforts towards inclusivity, they receive positive feedback from stakeholders at various levels, including customers, investors, and community partners. Asterisk customers appreciate TechGenius's commitment to creating a diverse workforce that reflects their own communities. They note that inclusive initiatives like language translation services have helped them feel valued as consumers of technology products and services. Your dedication to inclusivity has not only made our experience at TechGenius more enjoyable, but also enhanced its reputation for excellence. One customer exclaims, highlighting the company's ability to appeal to a wider range of customers with diverse backgrounds. I look forward to seeing how your efforts continue to drive innovation and progress in this field. Asterisk investors recognize TechGenius's commitment to social responsibility and are impressed by the company's initiatives aimed at promoting diversity and inclusion. Asterisk many investors express admiration for TechGenius's approach, which not only creates a positive work environment, but also aligns with their own values. They appreciate how the company is addressing issues of systemic racism and discrimination in tech industry by fostering an inclusive culture that benefits everyone involved. Asterisk in addition to external recognition, employees at TechGenius are equally proud of the progress being made towards inclusivity within the organization itself. Asterisk by prioritizing diversity training and allyship initiatives, employees feel more connected to their colleagues from diverse backgrounds. They share stories of how these programs have helped them build stronger relationships with individuals who may not have felt included otherwise. Being a part of this inclusive team has been an incredible experience, one employee declares. I've learned so much about different cultures and perspectives, which has broadened my own understanding and appreciation for diversity in tech. Asterisk in conclusion, as TechGenius continues to foster an inclusive workplace culture, they are receiving valuable feedback from their employees, stakeholders, and customers alike. The company's dedication to cultural awareness, diversity training, allyship initiatives, mental health support, policy changes, and customer satisfaction have made a significant impact on the organizational climate. Asterisk by prioritizing inclusivity in all aspects of its operations, TechGenius is creating an environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and included. This commitment not only benefits individual employees, but also contributes to building a more equitable society for all. As they embark on this, Monica Grant, a Black CEO, was at the airport that day when she received an unexpected turn of events. As she stood on the platform, surrounded by rows and rows of passengers, one gate agent approached her with a stern expression. "I'm sorry to inform you that your first-class ticket has been denied," he said in a clipped tone, his hands shaking slightly under the pressure of duty. "The seat is currently occupied." Monica was taken aback as she frantically searched for her boarding pass and realized it had vanished from her handbag. She tried to explain the situation to him, but he remained unyielding. "Your ticket belongs in first class," he declared firmly, his voice rising with anger. "You did not pay for that seat." Monica felt a wave of embarrassment wash over her as she looked around the crowded terminal. The airline's official website had listed the first-class seats available and prominently displayed their price tag on each boarder's passport. She knew it was just an error, but to have been caught in this situation without any proof or documentation seemed ridiculous. As she began to walk away from the gate agent, A group of women approached her, looking at her with curiosity as they gathered around her. "Hey, are you Monica Grant?" one woman asked. "I'm trying to find my ticket for the flight that departs in an hour." Monica's heart sank at their questions. She knew that she had missed out on a valuable opportunity due to an error on the airline system. But as she explained her situation and tried to make sense of the confusion, she noticed something strange. One woman stood up from the group and approached the gate agent with a calm demeanor. "I'm sorry for the inconvenience," she said. "Could you please explain what happened?" The gate agent hesitated, his eyes scanning over Monica's face before turning back towards her. He looked at her in silence, then replied, "Unfortunately, your ticket was not marked as first class on the airline's website or when we checked with our reservation system." Monica felt a wave of relief wash over her as she realized that she had no choice but to stay and wait for their next flight. She sat down on an empty seat across from the woman who had asked about her ticket, feeling embarrassed yet grateful. As they waited in silence, Monica couldn't help but think back on how much this situation would have changed if someone else had noticed that she was missing a first-class seat and kindly offered to assist her. It was moments like these when it became clear that inclusivity is not just about offering equal opportunities for all passengers. It's also about creating an environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and included. The next day, Monica met with the company's diversity and inclusion team to discuss their progress in fostering a more inclusive workplace culture. The team was excited to share stories of how they were implementing various initiatives such as employee resource groups, training programs for underrepresented employees, mental health support, policy changes, and customer feedback. One member of the team shared an anecdote about how their company's focus on allyship had led to a significant change in the way its workforce perceives diversity. The team had conducted research on different cultures and perspectives, which revealed that many employees felt like they were invisible or excluded from important conversations within the organization. By prioritizing inclusivity, TechGenius was able to create an environment where diverse voices were heard, valued, and respected. Another employee shared a story about how their company's mental health support program had helped them overcome personal challenges related to diversity and inclusion. The team discovered that many employees felt isolated or unsupported when it came to issues of race, gender, sexual orientation, religion, or any other characteristic they identified as part of who they were. By offering counseling services and resources for individuals struggling with these issues, TechGenius was able to create a safe space where people could feel comfortable discussing their experiences without fear of judgment. One customer also spoke up about how the company's efforts had made them more comfortable flying with her family, especially when it came to accommodating their diverse needs. The team discovered that many customers felt like they were being overlooked or excluded from airline policies and procedures related to diversity and inclusion. By revising their travel policies and providing clear communication channels for customer requests, TechGenius was able to ensure that everyone's experiences on the plane were equal. Monica shared her own story about how the company had made a significant impact in terms of creating an inclusive workplace culture. She explained that while she was initially frustrated with being denied a first-class seat, it led her to reflect on what truly mattered most to customers and employees alike. "I realized that inclusivity is not just about offering equal opportunities for all passengers. It's also about creating an environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and included," Monica said. By prioritizing diversity training, allyship initiatives, mental health support, policy changes, and customer feedback, TechGenius was able to address the root causes of systemic inequality in our organization. The team listened intently as she spoke, nodding along with her words. They knew that there were still many challenges ahead in creating a truly inclusive workplace culture, but they also felt confident in their commitment to making positive changes. "I know we have a long way to go," said the CEO of Tech Genius. "But by prioritizing inclusivity at all levels of our organization, I am optimistic about the future of our company and its impact on society." Monica smiled as she looked out the window at the bustling airport terminal once again, feeling grateful for the experience that had changed her perspective on inclusivity. "Thanks to Tech Genius efforts, we have a better understanding of what it means to be inclusive," she said. "And I hope this inspires others to take action and create similar change in their own workplaces." The end. The global outline. Monica Grant, a Black CEO, is humiliated by a gate agent at the airport when she is denied her first-class seat despite having paid for it. The incident feels like a personal attack on her ability to fly and symbolizes how systemic racism affects marginalized communities in aviation. In this moment, everyone around Monica is feeling valued, respected, and included, as they are all working towards creating inclusive workplaces where people from diverse backgrounds can thrive. The CEO of Tech Genius, a tech company that specializes in developing innovative solutions for the travel industry, stands at the airport counter to address the issue. She acknowledges that her team has made significant strides in addressing racism by implementing diversity training programs and allyship initiatives. Monica shares their progress with the group, highlighting how these efforts have led to improvements in areas such as employee feedback, customer satisfaction ratings, and reduced incidents of discrimination on flights. The CEO emphasizes that Tech Genius's commitment to inclusivity has not only improved air travel, but also contributed positively to society at large by reducing disparities between different racial groups. The team listens attentively, nodding along with her words, understanding the gravity of Monica's message. They know that there is still much work to be done in creating a truly inclusive workplace culture, and they are determined to drive this change forward. "Monica, we have made significant strides," says the CEO. "But as you may know, aviation has long been plagued by systemic racism. It's not enough to simply acknowledge these issues. It requires action to address them head-on." The team discusses how inclusivity training can help individuals recognize and challenge discriminatory behavior on flights. They emphasize that empathy, understanding, and allyship are key components of creating a more equitable travel experience for everyone. One such initiative is the Tech Genius Diversity Council, which brings together employees from different departments to discuss issues related to diversity, equity, and inclusion in their work environment. The council conducts regular meetings to brainstorm solutions, share best practices, and identify areas where further improvements can be made. Another crucial aspect of inclusivity efforts at Tech Genius is the implementation of allyship initiatives. This includes promoting diverse perspectives and experiences within the company leadership team, creating mentorship programs for underrepresented employees, offering unconscious bias training to all staff members, and actively recruiting candidates from marginalized communities into positions where they can thrive. Monica shares her personal experience with allyship as she was previously a vocal advocate for racial justice. She vividly remembers how incidents of discrimination made her uncomfortable in the workplace, but also motivated her to take action towards creating change. The CEO emphasizes that allies are essential partners, not just supporters, and play an integral role in promoting inclusivity. The team shares their own stories of allyship experiences within Tech Genius, highlighting how it has helped them navigate difficult situations, build relationships with diverse colleagues, and create a more welcoming work environment for everyone. They emphasize the importance of creating safe spaces where employees feel comfortable sharing their perspectives, challenging discriminatory behavior, and advocating for change. One employee who stands out as an example of allyship is Alex, a Black software engineer who has been working at TechGenius since its inception. Despite facing numerous challenges in his career due to systemic racism, he refused to be silent about these issues. He began by sharing his experiences with discrimination on social media and organizing a group within the company that advocates for racial justice. Alex's efforts not only brought attention to the issue, but also inspired others to take action. His leadership role as an ally helped create momentum towards implementing more inclusive policies, training programs, and mentorship opportunities. Today, Alex is respected by his colleagues and leads several initiatives aimed at promoting diversity in tech, including a women-led development program for underrepresented employees. The CEO of TechGenius continues her message, acknowledging the progress made so far, but emphasizing that there's still much work to be done. We have come too far, she says, but we must remain committed to ongoing efforts and continue pushing boundaries. The team nods in agreement, feeling inspired by Monica's commitment to creating a more inclusive workplace culture. They are determined not only for TechGenius, but also for other tech companies around the world to follow their lead and make strides towards racial equality. We can't solve this problem overnight, says the CEO. But we have no choice but to keep pushing forward one step at a time. By prioritizing diversity training, allyship initiatives, mental health support, policy changes, and customer feedback, TechGenius is well on its way to creating an inclusive workplace that values everyone's unique contributions. As Monica steps back from the airport terminal, she looks out once again at the bustling airport with renewed determination. She knows that her experience has not only changed her perspective, but also inspired others to fight for a more just and equitable travel industry. The future of TechGenius is bright, filled with possibilities for creating lasting change in an industry where discrimination still exists. The end. Monica Grant, a Black CEO of TechGenius, stood at the airport terminal with her head held high. She had always been an advocate for diversity and inclusion in tech, but this day was different. As she stepped off the plane, she felt like all eyes were on her as she walked down to baggage claim. The gate agent approached her, a thick black coat billowing around her shoulders. "Monica," he said in his deep voice, "I'm sorry for denying you your first-class seat at Gate 3. Monica's heart sank. She had paid for the premium seats and was entitled to them, but the gate agent appeared to be making an exception based on their appearance. "I understand that everyone has a right to travel however they choose," she replied firmly. "However, we have made it clear that diversity is essential in our company culture." The gate agent looked at her for a moment before nodding and returning to his duties. As Monica walked away, the team around her began discussing their next steps. "We need to conduct more diverse training sessions for all employees," said Sarah, one of Monica's colleagues. "We must educate them on unconscious bias and how it can impact our decisions." Another colleague, Keiko Backer, added, "We also need to ensure that we are providing equal opportunities for marginalized groups in hiring practices." The CEO nodded in agreement. "I agree that diversity training is crucial," he said, "but we cannot solely rely on educational programs to solve this problem. We must implement policy changes and customer feedback mechanisms to drive real change." The team looked at each other, considering the steps they needed to take. "We need to ensure that our policies are inclusive and do not discriminate against any particular group," explained Monica. "We should have zero tolerance for discriminatory practices in all aspects of the company, including hiring, promotions, compensation, and benefits." One member of the team suggested a policy change. The company would no longer provide first-class seating to employees based on their race or ethnicity. Instead, they would offer priority seating based on merit and performance metrics. The CEO nodded again, impressed by Monica's suggestion. "That is an excellent idea," he said. "We need to ensure that we are not rewarding only individuals who excel in the workplace, but also those from marginalized communities." Another member of the team chimed in. "Absolutely. We must also prioritize mental health support for all employees." The CEO nodded in agreement. "We should have a robust employee assistance program that provides access to counseling services and resources for employees experiencing stress or burnout," added Keiko Backer. "We need to create a safe space where everyone can feel heard and supported." The team continued discussing their next steps, each member bringing valuable input and ideas. They agreed on several policy changes, including implementing unconscious bias training, offering priority seating based on merit and performance metrics, providing mental health support for all employees, and prioritizing employee assistance programs. As Monica walked back to her hotel room, she couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in what they had accomplished so far. They were making progress towards creating an inclusive workplace culture that valued diversity, equity, and inclusion. She knew that there was still much work to be done, but the team's commitment to addressing discrimination had already made a positive impact on her life. She felt inspired by their determination to create lasting change in an industry where racism still existed. The next logical beats from the outline. Monica Grant sat down at her computer and opened TechGenius' internal email inbox. As she scrolled through the messages, she noticed several updates about diversity training sessions for employees. They had been scheduled for the following week across all departments, including marketing, sales, development, and operations. She felt excited to see that they were prioritizing employee education on unconscious bias, as well as offering priority seating based on merit and performance metrics. These changes would help ensure that everyone in TechGenius was treated fairly and equitably, regardless of their race or ethnicity. However, she also had mixed feelings about the upcoming policy change. They had no choice but to provide first-class seating to employees based on their race or ethnicity if they were not already earning a high enough salary. It seemed unfair that such privileged status could be reserved only for individuals who excelled in the workplace and demonstrated exceptional performance. Monica spoke with Sarah, one of her colleagues, about this issue. "I understand where you're coming from," she said, "but we cannot simply abandon our existing policies to cater solely to a minority group." Sarah nodded in agreement. "We need to strike a balance between protecting the interests of employees who have been historically disadvantaged and ensuring that all employees are treated fairly and equitably. We can't create an unfair advantage for individuals from marginalized communities without also addressing systemic issues like lack of opportunity, discrimination, or bias within our company." Monica smiled slightly at Sarah's suggestion. "That is a valid point," she said. "We need to consider the root causes of disparities in hiring and compensation before implementing any policy changes that could lead to further inequality." As they continued discussing their next steps, they realized that creating an inclusive workplace culture was not just about addressing individual biases or inequalities, but also about building stronger relationships between people from diverse backgrounds and fostering a sense of belonging. They needed to create opportunities for collaboration, open communication, and mutual respect. They decided to set up regular team meetings where employees could share their experiences, perspectives, and feedback on the company's diversity initiatives. TS would help ensure that everyone was involved in shaping the company culture, ensuring that each employee felt heard and valued.